My daughter superglued all the doors shut at her sleepover party, and she saved every girl there. I got a frantic call at 2:30 a.m. from my neighbor asking why our garage door was wide open and why she could hear girls screaming from inside our house. I raced home from my night shift at the hospital to find 6 13-year-old girls trapped in my daughter Maya's bedroom, with every door in the house sealed shut with industrial-strength superglue. Maya was sitting calmly on her bed while her friends pounded on the bedroom door, crying and demanding to know why she'd locked them all inside. "Maya, what have you done?" I shouted through the door, trying to turn the handle that was completely frozen with dried glue. The other girls were having panic attacks, screaming about being claustrophobic and wanting to go home. My daughter's best friend Chloe was sobbing into her phone, trying to call her parents, while the other girls blamed Maya for ruining their sleepover. Maya's voice came through the door, steady and determined. "Mom, I had to keep everyone safe. Mr. Davidson from next door was trying to get into our house through the back door. I saw him with his spare key that he thinks I don't know about." My blood went cold because Mr. Davidson was our trusted neighbor who'd been watching our house for years and had emergency access in case something happened. I ran to the back door and found it slightly ajar, with fresh muddy footprints on our kitchen floor that definitely weren't from the girls. The spare key we'd given Mr. Davidson was sitting on the counter, even though it was supposed to be hidden under our back porch planter. Someone had been inside our house while the girls were sleeping, and Maya had trapped everyone in her bedroom to protect them. But that wasn't all Maya had discovered. She told me through the door that she'd been awake around midnight when she heard Mr. Davidson talking to someone outside her bedroom window. She'd quietly looked out and seen him with another man, discussing which girls were sleeping where and planning when to come back inside. Maya had heard enough to realize they weren't there to check on the house's security. "I started gluing all the doors shut at 1 a.m., Maya explained, her voice shaking now. "I used 3 tubes of superglue from your craft supplies and made sure no one could get in or out. I know it scared everyone, but I didn't know what else to do when I heard them planning to come back with more people." The other girls had stopped yelling and were now listening to Maya's explanation with growing horror. I called 911 immediately while trying to figure out how to get the girls out safely. The police operator said units were already on their way because our neighbor, Mrs. Williams, had reported suspicious activity around our house earlier that night. She'd seen multiple cars parked on our street and men walking around our property with flashlights, but thought it might be related to the sleepover. Detective Lisa Hoffman arrived within minutes and confirmed that we'd stumbled into an active investigation. Mr. Davidson had been under surveillance for weeks as part of a larger operation targeting a network that exploited teenage girls at sleepovers and parties. The second man Maya had seen was David Kruger, a known predator who'd been coordinating with Davidson to gain access to homes where young girls were staying overnight. Maya had unknowingly prevented what could have been a coordinated assault on 6 vulnerable teenagers. Her quick thinking to seal all the doors had turned our house into a safe room, keeping the predators out while keeping the girls secure until help arrived. The glue had made it impossible for anyone to enter the house silently, which had forced Davidson and his accomplice to abandon their plan. The fire department had to use special solvents to dissolve the superglue and free the girls from the bedroom. When they finally got the door open, Maya was the calmest person in the room while her friends were still processing what had almost happened to them. She'd spent 3 hours keeping everyone together and safe, even though they'd been angry at her for trapping them. The investigation revealed that Davidson had been copying house keys for months, using his position as a trusted neighbor to gain access to homes during sleepovers and parties. Maya's father and I had never suspected anything because Davidson had been helpful and friendly, always offering to check on our house when we were away. The police found evidence that he'd targeted at least 12 other families in our neighborhood. Maya became a hero to her friends and their families, but she struggled with nightmares for months afterward. She kept blaming herself for not acting sooner and worried that other girls had been hurt because she hadn't spoken up about Davidson's suspicious behavior earlier. We started family therapy to help her process the trauma of carrying such a heavy burden at such a young age. The trial lasted 6 months, with Maya having to testify about what she'd seen and heard that night. Her testimony was crucial in convicting both Davidson and Kruger, who received sentences of 15 years each for conspiracy and attempted assault. Maya's quick thinking and courage had not only saved her friends, but had helped bring down an entire network of predators operating in our community. 2 years later, Maya still keeps superglue in her backpack and checks locks twice before going to bed. Her friends call her their protector, and she's become an advocate for teen safety education in our school district.